Some free advice. If you ever find a big old jawbreaker buried in the sand, just leave it alone, man. It's not worth it. Let's get to it, shall we?
Will you stop the clatter, you bubble-headed booby?
The Outer Limits.
Up on the moon, the Lunar Expedition 1 team, consisting of General Stalker, Lieutenant Travers, and Major Anderson, come across a perfectly round sphere hiding in the regolith and decide to take it back to base, but not before Major Anderson mocks the General over something to do with the Korean War. The General later admonishes the Major by announcing a transfer back to Earth, to which Anderson does not take well. Lieutenant Travers then delivers the sphere, which they've taken to calling the Moonstone, to the moon's premier scientist, Professor Diana Bryce, whose first order of business is giving it a great big hug before shooting it with lasers. Unable to cut into it or learn much of anything, she reports her findings to the General, who can't get over the fact that she has ovaries.
Your Moonstone remains unscathed, inscrutable, and as maddeningly mysterious as
a woman scientist.
She then hooks a microphone to the Moonstone in order to hear the most disturbing noise imaginable.
Yeah, rock it to me, baby!
Eventually, Bryce and Stalker get some time alone, where we learn that Stalker has been trying to convince her to marry him, but she has resisted because she doesn't like the military, seeing it as anathema to the cause of science that she has dedicated her life to. However, she does eventually give in, if only because she wants to get on with dinner. As they leave for dinner, they come across Major Anderson, who has taken solace from Jack Daniels. Bryce tries to console him, but the Major then tells her that her new fiancé made a choice in Korea to save his men at the expense of a small civilian village he had promised to protect. As Bryce turns to leave, Anderson stumbles over and electrocutes himself. The Moonstone then awakens, revealing the Lovecraftian horrors within, and they shoot a beam at the downed Anderson, saving his life. The beings within the Moonstone then talk, explaining that they are aliens who possess all the secrets of the universe, but have been trying to flee a tyrannical government that seeks to exploit their knowledge to dominate the known universe. Apparently, the tyrants wish to assimilate them, and resistance would be futile. I swear I've heard that before. Anyway, they need help from some Confederates, as they are running out of energy due to Earth's pathetic sun not being strong enough. The Moonstone beings give the humans the information they need to signal a rescue ship, and then begin relating all of their vast knowledge to pass the time. Unfortunately, their knowledge comes entirely from a technobabble generator.
With a difference rate governed by the density of the emitting matter, raised to the cube root of the transient.
The only person who seems unfazed by it all is Lieutenant Travers, but that shouldn't be too surprising, given that time he witnessed an ape uprising.
Caesar, this is not how it was to be!
After the team gets the signal out, General Stalker and Professor Bryce discuss the General's past in Korea, and she is unable to forgive him for the death of that village. I guess the wedding is off. They later pick up an incoming alien vessel, but alas, it isn't a rescue ship so much as an attack ship from the Tyrants, coming to take the Moonstone by force. The lunar team tries to escape with the Moonstone and preserve what little knowledge they were able to record, but the Tyrants are much too powerful for them and make a deadly demonstration of it. Bryce, terrified, exclaims that they have no choice but to sacrifice the Moonstone regardless of the consequences. The General tells her he's sorry she has to learn this lesson. On the bright side, maybe the wedding is back on. They take the Moonstone out to the lunar surface to be taken by the Tyrants, but rather than surrender, the Moonstone destroys itself. One of the holy grails in writing is finding an ethical dilemma that is elegantly simple but still profoundly provocative, and that's what this episode delivers. While some plot points are a little too neat, it earnestly demonstrates a moral uncertainty that is all too familiar to anybody with military experience.
Is this what you felt after Kachang?
You mean remorse? Bitterness? Yes.
It exorcises the sociological trauma of war, but buries it beneath the guise of a pulpy science fiction adventure. For that reason alone, this is a real contender for my top 5 episodes. And that's all I have on Moonstone. Now, as always, do all those YouTube-y things, check out my Patreon, and all that other good stuff. But until next time, this is the Unapologetic Geek, telling you to never be ashamed of what you love. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Oh, I'm having a little party here. A little bon voyage party.